The morning sun cast long shadows across Rosewood Avenue as Elena Martinez turned the key to threads of dreams for what she believed would be the last time. Her fingers trembled against the ornate brass handle, a family heirloom from her grandmother's shop in Barcelona, as tears blurred her vision of the boutique that had been her life's work for 15 years. Inside, mannequins draped in silk evening gowns and hand-embroidered wedding dresses stood like silent sentinels, witnesses to countless dreams fulfilled. The boutique wasn't just a store. It was where 3 generations of Rosewood brides had found their perfect dress, where teenagers discovered confidence in prom gowns that made them feel like princesses, and where Elena had poured every ounce of her artistic soul into creating a sanctuary of beauty and hope. But dreams, Elena had learned, don't pay rent. The pandemic had devastated her customer base. Online giants had lured away her regular shoppers, and now the landlord's final notice crumpled in her hand like autumn leaves. The boutique that had been featured in Vogue and Harper's Bazaar, that had dressed mayor's daughters and celebrated local artists, would close forever in just 30 days. Elena sank into the velvet armchair where countless mothers had watched their daughters transform into radiant brides. She pulled out her phone to post the devastating news on the boutique's social media account, her fingers hovering over the keyboard as her heart shattered with each word. After 15 years of serving our beautiful community, Threads of Dreams will close its doors forever on October 31st. Thank you for allowing me to be part of your most precious moments. With all my love, Elena. The post went live at 8:47 a.m. on a Tuesday. By noon, Elena's phone was buzzing incessantly. The first call came from Sarah Chen, whose wedding dress Elena had designed with hand-sewn pearls that caught light like captured starlight. "Elena, I just saw your post. There has to be something we can do." Then came a flood of messages. Maya Rodriguez, the young teacher whose confidence had bloomed in the emerald dress Elena had helped her choose for her first job interview. David Thompson, whose daughter had felt like a princess in her Quincy-era gown of midnight blue tulle. Mrs. Patterson, who had bought her late husband's favorite dress from Elena for their 50th anniversary, a dress that had made him cry with joy. By evening, Sarah had created a private Facebook group called Save Threads of Dreams. By midnight, it had 200 members sharing stories of how Elena and her boutique had touched their lives. The stories poured in like golden thread, weaving through the community's heart. There was Jessica, the cancer survivor who had found her first beautiful dress post-treatment at Elena's shop, weeping tears of joy as she reclaimed her femininity. There was Marcus, the transgender teenager whose mother brought him to Elena, Tina, and how Elena had spent hours creating the perfect suit that helped him feel authentically himself for the first time. There was the elderly widower who had bought his late wife's dream dress from Elena's vintage collection for her burial, saying it made her look like the angel she'd always been. Sarah, a successful marketing executive, recognized something magical was happening. "This isn't just about saving a business," she told her husband that night. "This is about saving the heart of our community." Within 48 hours, the Facebook group had exploded to over 1,000 members from Rosewood and neighboring towns. Stories continued flooding in, each more heart-wrenching and beautiful than the last. Local news caught wind of the campaign, and suddenly, Elena found herself at the center of something she'd never imagined. But the real magic began when the community moved beyond words to action. Maya organized a Threads of Love fashion show in Rosewood Park, where customers would model their Elena creations while sharing their stories. Local businesses jumped in. Rosewood Flowers donated arrangements that looked like they'd deep-end plucked from a fairy tale. Sweet Dreams Bakery created a 3-tier cake replica of Elena's boutique. And Harmony Strings Quartet performed classical music that made even the tough construction workers in attendance wipe away tears. The fashion show, held on a crisp October evening under twinkling lights, drew over 500 people. As each model walked the makeshift runway sharing their story, Elena watched from the sidelines, overwhelmed by the love surrounding her. When 85-year-old Mrs. Patterson appeared in the anniversary dress that had meant so much to her late husband, There wasn't a dry eye in the crowd, but it was 16-year-old Marcus who brought down the house. Walking confidently in the suit Elena had crafted for him, he spoke with quiet strength. Elena didn't just make me a suit. She made me feel seen, valued, and beautiful for who I am. She saved my life, so now we're going to save hers. The crowd erupted in thunderous applause that echoed across the park like waves of pure love. David Thompson, a local contractor, had been quietly working behind the scenes. He approached the landlord with a proposition. What if the community could guarantee the boutique's rent through a innovative sponsorship program? Local businesses could sponsor window displays, and customers could purchase angel dresses, where they'd pay for dresses that Elena would donate to young women who couldn't afford them. The landlord, moved by the outpouring of community support, agreed to reduce the rent by 30% and extend Elena's lease. But the community wasn't finished. They organized Threads of Hope, weekends where customers could bring friends for styling sessions, with profits split between Elena and local charities. They created an online presence that showcased Elena's artistry to the world, attracting customers from 3 states away. The climax came on Halloween night, the original closing date. Instead of darkness, Lena's boutique blazed with warm light as hundreds of community members gathered for the Threads of Dreams Lives On celebration. The windows displayed a new collection Elena had been working on in secret. The community collection featuring designs inspired by the stories shared during the campaign. There was Sarah's Starlight, a wedding dress with pearls that caught light like the hope that had sparked the movement. Maya's Confidence, an emerald dress that celebrated the power of believing in oneself. Marcus's Courage, a stunning suit that honored authenticity and self-acceptance. As Elena stood before the crowd, she could barely speak through her tears. "You didn't just save my business," she whispered into the microphone. "You reminded me that we're not just individuals pursuing dreams. We're threads in a magnificent tapestry. And when we come together, we create something beautiful and unbreakable." The local news story went viral, catching the attention of national media. Good Morning America featured Elena's story, leading to orders from across the country. Fashion bloggers wrote about the Rosewood miracle, and the boutique became a symbol of community, power, and authentic connection in an increasingly digital world. 6 months later, Threads of Dreams wasn't just surviving, it was thriving. Elena had hired 2 assistants and was mentoring young designers. The boutique had become a pilgrimage site for people seeking not just beautiful clothing, but proof that communities could still come together to create magic. But perhaps the most beautiful part of the story was the tradition that emerged. Every month, the community gathered at the boutique for Threads of Connection, an evening where people shared stories, celebrated milestones, and reminded each other that they were part of something larger than themselves. Elena often stood in her doorway at closing time, watching the evening light dance across the silk and satin, remembering that dark October morning when she thought her dreams were ending. Instead, she had discovered something more precious than any business success: the golden thread that connects human hearts when they choose love over indifference, action over apathy, and community over isolation. The boutique's new slogan, embroidered in golden thread above the entrance, captured it perfectly: where dreams are woven together. In a world that often feels fractured and cold, Rosewood had proven that when hearts unite with purpose, they can create miracles. They had saved more than a business. They had saved the beautiful belief that we are all threads in the same magnificent tapestry, and together we can weave dreams into reality. Like and subscribe for more videos.